Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the ThieAudio Wraith, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank Linsoul for providing the ThieAudio Wraith for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Linsoul, you rock. Okay, so the ThieAudio Wraith. This is a 98mm planar magnetic over-ear headphone. It has 23 ohms of impedance, 101 decibels of sensitivity, and a frequency response of 20 Hz to 40 kHz. It'll set you back $550 from your bank account when you purchase it on Linsoul.com. The Wraith. It comes in this very nice and thin box. Has some pictures on the front, picture on the back. Taking the lid off, and you're greeted by a little book that will give you some specs. And then you have your headphones. Very, very simple unboxing. Just the way I like it. Looks nice. Gives a good presentation, but keeps it simple. So you got this little tag here in the middle, which will give you your serial number, manufacturer, and model. And also, you get a cable. The cable is a fabric twisted cable, terminates into a 4.4, and then the headphone connectors are 2.5 millimeter. They are labeled L and R. They're extremely short, which is nice. You've got a little bit of a metal connection here at the split. Overall, I like the cable. Kind of short. It's about 4 foot long. Kind of wish it was more in the 6 foot length. All right, let's get the headphones out here. So the headphones. Here are the Wraith. They are a very nicely built, very light headphone. And as you can see, rather thin. Say ThieAudio on the cups. You got a little bit of L and R here on the sliders. Metal rods. Metal covered by leather up top, and then you have a leather suspension strap. Fenestrated pads that are leather. You do get a little bit of noise from the sliders, but overall, very well built. I like the build of this. It does not feel cheap, and it feels worth $550. The price tag, I'm not like complaining about the build of the Wraith. It is exceptionally well built. You can twist the cups either way. You do have just a little bit of a squeak in mine, but who goes around doing that all the time? One thing that I do like is that the cable connections are on the back. So when you connect your cable, let's do that here real quick. Right, left, and you put them on your head. Yeah, you get a little bit of a halo. But the cables, because they come out from the back, just flow on and down your shoulders. And I really do like that. There's none of this touching and being annoying, or none of this coming out the front and kind of you see it in your vision. I like the look of this and the feel of it, and just overall the comfort. They are extremely comfortable. You put them on your head and the clamp force is just about right, and the weight is good, and that suspension strap does a good job of dispersing the weight that there is, and it's just a very comfortable headphone. Very good job, ThieAudio. One other thing that they did very uniquely is that you take your pad off, kind of hard to do, via Velcro. So there's this little Velcro ring that goes around the inside of the cup, There's your 98mm planar. And you can replace the pads. And and your pad just kind of goes back in. You just line her up and press. And boom, you have your pad. ThieAudio did send me 2 pads that go with the Wraith. And so you got pad A and pad B. Pad A is a completely sealed leather pad. No fenestration like the stock pad. There is your Velcro on the back. And I found that this pad actually didn't sound very good. It made the bass kind of boomy, one-notish, and it added in a lot of glare and harshness and a lot of brightness to the treble that was fatiguing. And I just found it to be kind of annoying. Didn't really care for it. The other pad is this fabric like velour, and oh my word, so comfortable. Wow, it's like having a pillow on the side of your head. These things are extremely comfortable. Didn't mind them with this pad on. It wasn't fatiguing at all. In fact, it felt like I was kind of going to sleep. It was a very comfortable, very, very lush and warm sound, but it was kind of a little too much, and it kind of did bloat things up and just kind of put you in this type of mood, but you lost a lot of information. So I liked the feel of them, was okay with the sound if I really wanted a chill and relaxed type of sound, but I just was missing too much, and so didn't wear these. So I have stuck with the fenestrated pad, and I really like the fenestrated. Overall, impressed by the build, the design of it, the uniqueness of the pad replacement and the headband and stuff. This is really, really well done. Power requirements. Now this is 23 ohms of impedance and 101 decibels of sensitivity. So it actually is fairly easy to drive. I was kind of surprised at that. It sounded decent on dongles. Moondrop Dawn, the Hifi FC4. I do recommend running it balanced if you're going to use a dongle. It's an okay sound. Are you going to get the best performance from the Wraith using a dongle? No. But are you going to get a decent one? Yes. DAPs, again, single-ended, it was kind of meh. But running it balanced off my Sony WM1A, it sounded really good and it performed well. Did have to be in high gain. So I recommend the Wraith to be run on desktop, but it's doable portable. Desktops that I used several different DACs and amp combos. I had the Mytek Liberty DAC 2, the Ifi Pro IDSD Signature, the Aune X1S GT, the Aueze Deckard amplifiers, the Ifi Pro ICANN Signature, the Drop THX AAA 1 Linear, and the Headamp GSX Mini. And I found it played on all of those very well, and I was rather impressed by it. Oh, also another one that's in-house, the Topping DX7 Pro Plus. So I found that the Wraith performs best on desktops, but it works okay portable. Before we get into the sound signature of the Wraith, I would like to thank my supporters through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for giving of your monthly funds to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. I know these times are tough in the world and finances are becoming a little bit of a worry to some. So I do greatly appreciate that you sacrifice a little bit of your money to give to the Honest Audiophile YouTube channel and help support it. All your funds go to bring in gear to review or to purchase gear to use for comparisons. Also, it helps to cover shipping costs that I have to return gear for, and also it helps to provide coffee for me to drink so that I can wake up, which is something I really need right now. So anyways, thank you very much for all that you provide to the channel. Much appreciated. And if it wasn't for your support, this channel could not move forward. The ThieAudio Wraith. As I said, 23 ohms of impedance, 101 decibel sensitivity, and a frequency response of 20 hertz to 40 kilohertz. This has a very interesting sound signature. It is neutral fun, or neutral musical, is how I would describe it. And the bass of the ThieAudio Wraith is very engaging, has a good amount of energy, nice toe tapping abilities, nice slam and punch. It is a little bit light in the sub bass. I wish I had just a little bit more. And that's where the Hifi Audio iCan Pro signature has kind of been nice to have for review. And that is because it has X bass, and it's also broken down by frequencies. And so I can kind of tweak it and, oh, this song, it sounds good being put here. Or, oh, this song sounds good being put here. You can just add in a little bit more thump into the bottom end, and it makes the Wraith even more fun and engaging. So I do wish I had just a little bit more. So if you are into EQ or you use bass boost, you may want to tweak it just a little bit to add in just a little bit more thunder. But overall, I really do enjoy the bass of the Wraith. It's a fun and engaging sound. It has very good tone and timbre, sounds very natural and accurate. And then overall detail retrieval and resolution is very good as well. And you're not going to miss anything. I just wish that I had just a little bit more. Mids. The mids have a natural warmth to them. They're very engaging. You have a nice fullness to the sound, and everything sounds accurate and true. It has very good tone and timbre, and also has a very good detail retrieval and resolution, just like the bass. But the mids are a little bit more intimate. It's kind of like the personal concert is in full effect with the Wraith. I really do enjoy them. They have this kind of intimate approach to the mids, somewhat kind of Sennheiser HD600-esque. They're just a little bit there. You're getting your personal concert, and all the instruments and all the vocalists just sound like they're surrounding you and enveloping you, and you're part of it. And it's just a very engaging and energetic mid with proper spacing. It doesn't make you feel like you're stuffy or being packed in, but at the same time, it doesn't have a ton of wide openness. And I really do enjoy that. I think that this has a different approach to the mids that makes it feel personal. And the tonal balance of it is very good. I really do like the tone and timbre and the detail retrieval and resolution. Treble. The treble extends out nicely. It has good sparkle and energy, a good amount of air and space, and it has a kind of more a pleasurable treble. There's just enough sparkle and energy, just enough of the edges and the sharpness and the crispness and everything that you're looking for without being too much. It's right there. And if it takes another step, it's not going to be too much. But if it takes 2 or 3 more steps, it will be. So it's got enough of room to stay safe, but yet not be boring. And it's a very enjoyable, pleasurable treble. And it has good tone, timbre, and detail retrieval and resolution. So overall, I find that from the bass, the mids, and the treble, it's just a non-fatiguing, enjoyable musical headphone. And it just has this natural aura about it that puts you in kind of this personal space, being surrounded by the music. And it's just a very engaging and appealing to me. Soundstage. The soundstage of the Wraith is on the smaller side. It is intimate. If you have heard a Sennheiser HD600, it has that size of it. It's a small stage, but yet it's not compressed and cramped. It's just right there, natural, and it just kind of puts you in the moment. And it's a very engaging, but yet at times you kind of wish it had a little bit more. But I like it. It gives a different approach to the music than a lot of other headphones. Depth is very good with the Wraith. It has a being able to hear all the different sizes of the stage. You can really feel the layers. You can dissect the stage very well, and it does a good job within the size of it, breaking it down and being able to tell you, okay, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there. That one is in front or behind or moving around. Imaging is very good, very precise and accurate. It's pinpoint. You can hone in, go, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there. And I really do enjoy the soundstage of the Wraith. At times it can get just a little bit confused on busier tracks, especially like really big, boisterous classical movements where everything is playing all at once to wrap up a piece or something like that. Every now and then it'll kind of get a little confused and muddled, but for the most part, it's a very well-controlled, very well-behaving soundstage. Tone and timbre is very natural and accurate, and has a lushness and a warmth to instruments and to vocalists, and everything just sounds proper and real. And then detail retrieval and resolution is good for the price point. I have no complaints there. I do not find that I'm losing information or wishing that there was more. So I really like the ThieAudio Wraith. This thing is fantastic, and it just has a different approach to the sound with its more intimate, personal, but yet neutral and detailed type of sound signature while maintaining its naturalism. How does it compare to another $500 headphone, the Hfiman Sundara? Yes, you can get the Sundara for $300 now, but when it was released, it was a $500 headphone, which makes it a good comparison to the Wraith. The Sundara is a totally different type of presentation. The Sundara is more open and has a more spacious sound signature. Also has a little bit more space and separation between instruments and vocalists. It's not as intimate. The Sundara is more analytical sounding and is not as musical as the Wraith. Tone and timbre is slightly metallic on the Sundara, and the mids and treble are more forward and more aggressive on the Sundara. And at times it will get into a little bit of sibilance, a little bit of harshness, and a little bit of sharpness, and just a little too much intensity, and can be fatiguing. The Sundara does have a little bit better extension in the bass and in the treble, and you do get a little bit more sub-bass rumble and grumble. The Sundara is slightly better detailed, and resolution is about the same. So overall, I really do enjoy the ThieAudio Wraith. I think it's a fantastic headphone. If you're looking for something to compare to the Sundara that's a little bit more calming, a little bit more pleasurable, a little bit more musical, consider the Wraith. It is a fantastic headphone, and I really do enjoy the Wraith. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. Then don't forget to check out all the links down below. There's all kinds of information down there regarding tier lists and gear recommendations and music recommendations, and all kinds of other things are down below, along with information about, as I said, how you can contact the channel, follow the channel, support the channel, and where you can purchase the ThieAudio Wraith. Hey, don't forget to enjoy the music, and that honesty is the best policy.